Yo yo yo, c'est Balou comme d'hab avec Madame
Alicia, hey.
Et aujourd'hui en direct du Cameroun avec l'homme qu'on appelle Minx.
Les gens vont encore dire que je...
On est avec Monsieur Nabil.
Yes, what's up?
What's up bro? You good?
All good, man. Pleasure to be here.
Et avec la magnifique Gacha.
It's your baby girl Gasha and it's my pleasure.
Yeah. Bon déjà, moi ça me fait super plaisir d'être ici au Cameroun. C'est ma première fois en Afrique, c'est la première fois d'Alicia en Afrique et ça me fait plaisir de vous rencontrer. J'ai pu checker ce que vous faites, vous êtes vraiment tous chauds dans vos domaines. Donc déjà je veux un maximum de bruit pour vous. Du bruit pour vous parce que c'est chaud.
Thank you.
Bon, je pense qu'on va commencer quand même par la question, même si la plupart du monde vous connaît, la question quand même de base, une présentation. Donc on va commencer par Madame quand même. On va commencer par Madame, une présentation simple, efficace, pour quand même rentrer dans le bain.
Okay, so my name is Gasha,
Yep.
and I'm a Cameroonian singer, songwriter, performer. I've been doing this since I was 16, but I started officially when I was 20, 2021, 2012. That is it. So it's a lot of music out there. It's my EP coming out soon.
When exactly?
Next month, hopefully.
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
here.
Alors, en ce qui me concerne, moi c'est Minx, à l'état civil Franck-Stéphane Minkata, artiste de musique urbaine camerounaise. Donc, ça va faire 8 ans aujourd'hui que je suis dans le milieu.
Lourd.
Bon voilà, j'ai mon album aussi qui arrive là le 20 mai et puis...
Mais.
Chaud.
I've been waiting for that one, though. I've been waiting for that. He's doing it on National Day. Can't get any better. But my name is Nabil for real. I'm a media personality. Own a media brand. I'm a rapper. I'm an actor. I'm a
You
model.
everything.
I'm just a show businessman.
I like it.
Wow.
It's a show and the business. Holla at me.
Okay, do you have some inspiration to do what you do now?
Yes.
Who?
God.
Oh, wow. It's very profound.
Basically, I always like to say I'm a blend of the places I've been and things that I've seen. So everything that I do is just a blend of all the different experiences I've had.
Mm-hmm. And you, Getcha?
I mean, definitely, my inspiration is of God, and my inspiration is my purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, when I look around me, I pick up everything based on my purpose, what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to put out there, and the impact I'm trying to leave. So, yeah.
Okay. Mix.
Ok, en ce qui me concerne, moi je m'inspire du quotidien, de la vie de tous
ta
les
vie,
jours,
ouais.
voilà, donc,
Excuse-moi, Minx, tu peux juste parler bien dans le micro.
D'accord, là ça va? Ok, super. Alors oui, moi c'est mon quotidien, hein, tout ce qu'on vit tous les jours et puis voilà quoi. Je relate les faits.
Ouais. Je vais quand même expliquer l'idée en fait du pourquoi on est là, pour que vous captiez bien et que voilà on puisse vraiment échanger sur tout ça. En fait, comme on vous l'a dit en antenne, moi par exemple je suis caribéen, je suis de Guadeloupe, Martinique et on sait que l'origine quand même d'où on vient c'est l'Afrique.
C'est l'Afrique.
Ouais, carrément. Et c'est vrai que j'ai toujours voulu venir, j'ai jamais eu l'occasion parce qu'à chaque fois on me disait faut quand même connaître quelqu'un, faut quand même aller ici, ça. Et là la connexion s'est bien fait avec Makia Production, avec Patou qui a bien fait les choses, donc déjà grosse force à eux. Et puis j'avais fait un test ADN il y a peut-être quelques années, un an de ça, un truc dans le genre. Et dans le test ça me disait un peu d'où je venais, les différents. Et j'ai 82% d'Africains. Et derrière je me suis dit j'ai envie de faire un programme justement où un programme vraiment qui part du cœur, vraiment qui sera sur ma chaîne YouTube sans prise de tête, où justement je montre les similitudes entre moi d'où je viens des Antilles, les Africains entiers de France et l'Afrique même, tu vois, et surtout pouvoir partager cette culture qu'il y a ici au Cameroun à ceux qui nous suivent en France, aux Antilles, etc. Donc ça me tenait vraiment à cœur de vous rencontrer parce que la culture, vous la créez aussi, vous faites partie de ceux qui créent la culture, donc ça me tenait à cœur et c'est vraiment un truc que je fais avec le cœur et encore une fois je vous remercie d'être là. Et si moi je devais vous demander de définir un peu, si vous devez décrire le Cameroun aux gens, on m'a dit que c'est l'Afrique en miniature, mais si vous devez définir le Cameroun, vous diriez quoi? Lui a envoyé la balle.
Much more than just Africa in a miniature. I want you guys to understand something. Cameroon is the only country in Africa and the only second country in the world that speaks French and English.
Yeah.
Secondly, Africa is divided into two main parts as far as demography or language is concerned. So you have like the English-speaking Africa and you have the French-speaking Africa. See, Cameroon is the only country in Africa that can be able to reach that gap. It means that I could easily go to Ivory Coast and communicate with Ivorians as well as I can communicate with Ghanaians in Ghana. You see, Ivorians and Ghanaians share borders. They speak probably the same dialect. They even have the same food. But the fact that one country is Anglophone, another one is Francophone, what brings them together is someone like me who has the Anglo-Saxon and the Francophone culture. So the uniqueness about Cameroon is the fact that Cameroon is really not just Africa in miniature, but culturally it embodies the spirit of Africa.
Dope. You wanna add something else, or you said it?
I mean, he's basically said it all. You know, when you start by saying Cameroon is African in miniature, you've said almost everything. If I were asked what's Cameroon, I'll say Cameroon is the school of hard knocks. That's what I'll say. I always say it's really tough around here, but it's a good thing because if you make it out of here, you're the best everywhere else. So, I mean, I love it. It's my country. Yeah.
Et le frérot, toi,
Bah ouais,
tout a été dit.
C'est comme il t'a dit, hein, le Cameroun, c'est l'Afrique en miniature. Il y a une diversité culturelle sans pareil. Il y a l'anglais, c'est le seul, je dirais c'est le seul pays en anglais, en Afrique dans lequel on parle le français et l'anglais. Il y a beaucoup de cultures, il y a le Bamileke, il y a le Douala, il y a le Bassa, il y a un peu de tout en fait. Quand tu es ici, tu as l'impression vraiment d'être... C'est un peu l'Afrique quoi.
Ouais, et il y a un truc qui est important aussi que moi j'ai envie de rappeler aux gens qui vont regarder cette vidéo, etc. Souvent à Paris, on pense avoir le monopole de ci, ça. Moi, quand je suis arrivé ici, un truc qui m'a marqué, c'est que, bon, déjà, il y a une culture propre ici, ça c'est logique, c'est la base. Mais en fait, le Cameroun, les artistes sont tellement, je trouvé tellement diversifiés, tellement puissants, qu'en vrai, il n'y a même pas besoin de Paris, de la France, etc. C'est vraiment puissant. Genre, j'ai pris des claques la dernière fois, j'ai eu Loco, Avero Jess, j'ai eu Boyta ici, Mimi, etc. Et d'un artiste à un autre, c'est un talent totalement différent. Et comme tu l'as dit, il y a la différence des langues, des ethnies,
Tout ça
et c'est trop puissant, vraiment. Et moi, je le vois qu'en ce moment, l'Afrique devient... Ce qui est triste que ça arrive si tard, parce que ça devrait l'être depuis, mais devient de plus en plus... voilà, tu vois. Et je trouve que c'est une bonne chose, même si ça reste triste que ça soit fait que maintenant. Est-ce que vous le sentez, ça, que les gens s'intéressent plus à l'Afrique en ce moment, etc.
Definitely. Obviously.
Ouais.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious. I cannot really break it down, but right now, Afrobeats, the music alone, Afrobeats is taken over, very obviously, right?
And in social media too.
Exactly.
When you see people dancing, even on TikTok or Reels.
They're all doing Afro dance,
Even the Ankara, the rapper, le tissu, le pagne, all of that is getting more recognition all over the world, our culture, our way of life. At first, we were not cool now, we were the African booty scratchers. Now everybody wants to hang with us.
So I will do that. Sorry, host man. I keep.
No, you can. Yeah. Do it. You do it. Bro. You doing it?
I'm so sorry. I've not been interviewed in like 2 years. And
bro, you know what?
Very simple. Hey. Get interviewed.
I need to learn again. I'm about to. We're coming. We're
Hey, bro.
right now.
There's Erube.
You know what? There's no
It's a
conversation. You can do it.
All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please introduce to y'all one of Cameroonian's finest, the dopest voices we've probably ever had, and one of the most beautiful ladies here. She's here. And there's no one else but Erube.
Nice to meet you.
A lot of reception, given that I'm very late. I'm sorry. Given that I'm late, I feel like a queen. Thank you guys so much.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm great.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
So, can you introduce you to the people and for people in France and everybody listening?
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm very horrible at introducing myself. My name is Erube. I sing. I love to dance. I don't know how to introduce myself. I'm a Cameroonian artist. I'm just an artist there enjoying what I love to do, which is singing, dancing, and probably entertaining people. And what else? And hoping that inspires people in the long run and inspires somebody else to run after their dreams. So that's me. That was quite long.
Doing music since when?
It's been 7, 8 years.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Okay.
I feel old. But yeah, 7, 8 years I've been in
Okay.
music in Cameroon.
And I have a question for everybody.
Yeah.
What makes you begin music? Like what makes you, you know?
Music to me has always, I'd never really thought of being an artist. I imagined myself doing an album and then sharing it with my family. I didn't really imagine myself like, ooh, getting on stage and stuff. Yeah, I always, because my mom is such an academician, she's like, go to school. Yeah, you get. So I never really saw myself as an artist, and that's how I started music, as a joke. Yeah, I just went into the university. I had some guys who had moved in from our town, Slim Beats and the rest, and they were like, hey girl, now you're free, your mom can't kill you if you sing. Why don't you try this bit? And then I tried the bit and it was party all night. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so
Alors, moi, je dirais plus c'est l'entourage qui m'a poussé à faire du rap. Je traînais avec des camarades de classe pendant les heures de permanence. Ils aimaient souvent... Il y a des gars qui tapaient la batterie sur les bancs. Et
toi,
puis
tu
ils
posais?
freestylaient. Non, moi je posais pas. Je kiffais juste un kiffeur à l'époque.
Tu as fréquenté avec Tourébé?
Et puis, hein?
Tu as fréquenté avec Tourébé?
Non,
C'est ok,
voilà.
vas-y.
Donc voilà, et puis les gars freestylaient et tout, moi je kiffais bien, tu vois. Un jour, il y a l'un d'eux qui me dit, mais mon frère, toi on est en train de freestyler, toi tu es là, tu nous regardes, tu appelles, il y a quoi, viens faire un truc. J'ai dit, bon, ok. Je suis rentré dans le truc et puis ça m'a pu lâcher jusqu'à aujourd'hui. J'ai commencé à faire des compétitions, Boa Contest, Hip Hop Talent Search et Challenge Vacances. Après, voilà, j'ai juste continué quoi. Bon, c'est un peu ça.
well, me, I was the worst singer in my family. They were like, if anybody's going to sing, it's not you. Because I used to want to sing every part. And then I started getting very, very interested in singing when I was getting more into school and away from the house. Like, okay, I can sing where they won't kill me. I'll sing in school because people were like, oh, you have a nice voice. But then at home, they told you, like, oof.
That's what your sisters do.
Everybody
It's not
sings
my
at
sisters
home.
will roast you.
Right? Everybody in my family is a really good singer. Yeah, my mom, oof, everybody's probably in the choir or something. So they're like, you don't sing well. And when I went to school, everybody was like, oh, you have a good voice. I started with doing backup for artists. And later on, I was like, okay, I'll try a song. And I never stopped since then.
That's dope.
Okay. And you, yeah, gotcha. And then yeah, Nabil.
I always thought I was going to be an actor or a dancer at first.
Damn.
So you always been in the artistic.
Yes, my dad did theater arts. My dad majored in theater arts. By the time I was 3, he sent me to learn contemporary dancing.
Okay.
So I really started off as a dancer. In fact, I was going to model before I sing safe. And then when I was 15, I got on MySpace. You know, then artists, a lot of artists on MySpace. Yeah. So I connected with so many people who are really big now. You understand? And they were on MySpace then, and we're just, you know, fucking around and just, sorry, excuse me. No, you know, thank you.
You can curse, it's
and
okay.
everything. So we were in a small group, and then one person was like, okay, we just make a challenge. You make a song about this, you make a song about this, you make a song about this. That's when I recorded my first song. It was really, really silly, but that's what got me to the studio. So I started asking around. I was like, where can I record it? And somebody showed me Anzi Jamea. Yeah, that's the first person I ever worked with. That was my first mentor, yeah. So they sent me to the studio. I went there. They didn't let me record for a good 3 months. I used to come and sit around and watch everybody work. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
And then one day he was there, and there's this guy who won Cameroon Music Star that year. I forgot his name, unfortunately. He was like, sing. Just gave me a short one day. What's this song you want to record? I recorded it, and that was it. I mean, my family laughed, of course, they laughed.
Yeah.
But I was never going to stop after that.
Okay.
Nice.
Good story.
Oh, this is interesting stories. How do I even start?
Me, I was there.
You know what I'm saying?
And
It just happened. Well, for me, I think it was just like I started, like almost like him. It was all about school. When I moved to Cameroon as a teenager from Nigeria, me and my brother, like we used to go out, and my brother would, you know, I was real small, and he would tell people like, "Yo, my brother can rap," and he would kill you, and I would always look timid. So he would kind of provoke people to bet, you know, a rap bet on me, bro, you know I was always going to take the money. So all I need to do is just come and look like I can rap. And
Like
my
you
brother
can
doing
rap.
like, yo, my brother can kill it. And then people like, you sure? Like, yeah, put your money where your mouth at. And they put the money and he puts a little bit and we go on with that and we take it to the club. But then after rapping like that for a very long time, and then we realized that there was no urban industry in Cameroon. We had just Cameroonian traditional music. And sometime in 2002, when I left high school and I got into radio, my idea was to take what we were doing on the streets and make it mainstream. So I had the first urban radio show in Cameroon with the first Prairie. So I was like the first person to start playing like Cameroonian urban music from Bantu Posi, Racine, Crotal today, and a bunch of others in the early 2000s. And that's how we got. And since I was a rapper, I always did my show on freestyle. So way back in the day, and my whole show was a freestyle. I just freestyle from my intro to the news to the next
So
song.
dope.
Yeah.
You guys keep talking about freestyle.
You want to do a freestyle then?
No, it's coming.
Right after?
It's coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and je vais vous poser une question. Elle est très dure à répondre, mais en général, moi, quand on me la pose, j'arrive pas. Est-ce que vous avez un top 5 de vos artistes préférés?
Dans tout le monde entier ou bien...
Dans le monde,
Dans le monde.
un top 5 des gens que vous saignez vous-même.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do.
Avouez que c'est dur cette question.
C'est fort.
Ah ouais, t'en as un? Vas-y.
She have a 5, I think.
I hope it's up to 5 though, because I'm really picky. We have Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey.
Yeah, I love her. Yes.
We have Marshmello.
Okay.
I love Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran, okay.
I love Richard Bona with all my heart.
Last one?
Sia.
Sia.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
This is a white girl.
We are
Lana Del Rey and Sia.
all right.
Shout out to Richard Bona. He's making the list.
You know that?
Wait, you get?
You don't listen to them.
Yeah, I definitely do. Sia is like my
Right?
my go-to. Shed
Exactly,
tears
she's
and have
gospel.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't
Go
know
ahead,
what
Sia.
I'll call Beyonce because everybody will kill me if I don't call her name.
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Okay, Beyonce. Duh.
Whoosh.
It's hard.
Shit. I listen to
Yeah, not
everybody. I love Beyonce. Right now, I really love Masego. If you know Masego.
Yes.
I love Masego right now. Yes, Sia. I would definitely come down to Cameroon in Magasco because yes, that's my favorite guy in the country.
That's
How
all.
many is that?
4.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
So you don't
That's
love
good,
me.
yeah.
So you don't
Yeah.
you don't love me.
Shots.
Okay, is this some sort of campaign now? You guys should really give me a. Okay, who else? I would love to pick somebody reggae-ish and let me. Okay, Masego is on the soul. I won't call Bob Marley because
Soulja.
he's timeless.
He's a legend.
You can say
Kendrick Lamar.
Ah, okay.
Dope.
And you mix.
Ah, c'est chaud, hein. Je ne saurais les classifier, mais je peux en donner 5.
Ok.
C'est pas mon top
Ils
5.
sont pas classés.
Oui, je dirais Youssoufa.
Lourd.
Bon, au Cameroun, je dirais Longuet. Petit pays, ça fait combien? Ça fait 3.
3.
Yeah.
Il y a qui encore?
C'est dur.
Moi?
Voilà.
Et Oubé. Le dernier. Il y a. Je dis Orelsan.
Orelsan, ouais.
Oui, ça c'est des,
Ok, ouais.
c'est des artistes que j'écoute beaucoup. Il y en a tellement.
En fait, ouais, c'est ça.
donné 5, il y en a
C'est dur.
Je veux pas arriver.
Quand on pose la question, c'est dur.
Ouais.
Nabil?
I think I'm just like him, you know what I'm saying? Because like as you know, like as a radio or media personality, the options are a lot more than like a musician, you know what I'm saying? Because the musician has his lane, has what inspires him, and has what it goes for. For us, we have to, you know, talk to like everybody. Here, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta play from Lana Del Rey to, you know what I'm saying, to that. But I would say my top 5 artists should be first Gasha.
Okay.
Second second should be Lil Wayne.
Ooh.
Lil Wayne.
Hey.
Because I'm in school of Lil Wayne.
Me too.
Okay.
I know the whole Carter 1, Carter 2 off by heart. You can put up any song and I'll spit the lyrics up on it. You know what I'm saying? Kanye till he became a Kardashian.
Yeah.
Kanye for real. He's not anymore. He's not anymore.
I said till he became a Kardashian.
No longer.
Until he's officially not Kanye Kardashian. It doesn't make my
Okay,
list.
Kanye till further notice.
Yes, Kanye till further notice. Let's put him on suspended.
Yeah.
All right. Then coming back here, obviously there's certain things. I'm sorry I cannot do 5. I'll tag people. So you have Longer, Petit Pays, Solomuna, Sanfan Thomas as one.
Zingão. Ça me fait Thomas d'eau.
Et du coup, si je devais. Si moi, vous devriez me faire découvrir les légendes camerounaises, vous diriez qui? Les légendes.
Sanfan Thomas,
Richard
Boilotin. Richard Bona is Ghanaian now, but we still love
But
him.
he's Cameroonian still.
All right. Longer is great. Petit Pays.
Man.
Lady Pons.
Lady Pro.
I love her.
There's a lot. Yeah, Lady Pons.
Ouais, c'est ça.
You know Zangale Wise from Cameroon. You know, there's a lot of great musicians from Cameroon. Manu
Il y a même
Dibango,
autre que des musiciens, des sportifs, des.
Yeah.
Ouais.
And I must say something. Dans les premières années de 2000, je crois que et les dernières années de 99, the 90s, right? End of the 90s and the early 2000s. I think about 60% of the rappers in France that were big in France were from Cameroon.
Right.
True.
There's a bunch of them, man. Patrick, you know what time it is.
Pete Bacardi.
Yeah, man, I hate it. We money from all of them. So. Right, Pete Bacardi, there was Driver, there was everybody was like Django Jack, everybody was Cameroonian way back in the day. Yeah, the whole sector. My cousin McTire, you know.
Oh, McTayer, yeah.
Yeah,
He's from Cameroon?
he's my cousin.
Oh, yeah. And I met him like 10 times. I didn't even know he
Really?
was from
Oh yeah.
Cameroon.
I mean, like he still lives where my auntie lives. He still lives in
Oh,
that
for
farm.
real?
You know, baby, have you been there? Like I've
That's
been to his
dope.
house and stuff.
That's the homie. He lives close to my house.
Yeah.
you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I am when I'm in Paris. I'm in his neighborhood.
Okay.
Next door.
Yeah, okay, dope.
Sorry.
You know, when you guys said something just now, quand vous avez parlé du culture caribien et tout ça, les gens qui sont autour de moi quand je suis en train de créer, ils m'ont entendu dire que j'ai l'impression qu'il y a un côté de moi qui vient de là et je ne sais pas.
Right.
Oui, I'm sure you've heard this before.
Yeah.
Dans toute ma musique, il y a une forte feeling de zouk. Même si c'est quoi.
And
tu
I
vois,
must say this.
même si c'est quoi, il y a une très forte sensation de zouk
And I
là-dedans.
must say-
You
I
have to
must say
come with
something.
us.
Exactly.
Not only that, I
So
must
I'm
say
really
something.
happy about
With
this
her
especially.
EP,
Yes.
on her EP, there is a song there that has brought Kassav and everything in
Oh,
it.
for real?
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
you definitely
Kassav
have
is
to
big
see-
here?
Kassav was big here.
Kassav was
It was so big, right? Yeah, I hosted them
Really
also
big.
like some years ago, but they're super
Yeah,
big.
so big.
But-
Like I grew up watching them. Like,
Yeah.
Mais c'est fou parce que moi, quand je suis arrivé, j'ai mis les pieds au Cameroun. Comme je vous ai dit tout à l'heure, quand j'ai regardé, j'ai dit mais en fait ça ressemble, nous les Antilles, c'est à peu près pareil, tu vois. Et je me suis dit ah ouais non, on vient vraiment de là et tout. Parce qu'il faut savoir que aux Antilles, tu vois, il y a des reconstitutions de l'arrivée des esclavages. Genre il y a bon, je raconte un peu ma vie. Hein. Il y a un événement que j'ai participé qui m'a mis une claque de fou, qui s'appelle le Festival Héritage, qui est en Guadeloupe à Petit Canal. Et en fait, le Petit Canal, c'est le port d'où arrivaient les esclaves. Et à ce port-là, ils ont fait des marches. Et sur les marches, il y a chaque ethnie qui sont arrivées en fait aux Antilles. Et moi, j'étais avec mon ami Fodjé. Et on a vu, ils ont fait la reconstitution avec les jeunes qui sortaient du bateau, etc. On a regardé, on a pleuré. Et Fodjé, lui, vient du Mali, moi je viens de Guadeloupe-Martinique, on s'est pris dans nos bras. On n'était pas bien en fait, tu vois, parce que tu te rends compte. Et en fait, il y avait toutes les ethnies, Babileke, il y avait toutes les ethnies en fait, tu vois. Et ça te met une claque. Et après, quand moi je suis arrivé ici, en fait, je sais pas, ça m'a fait un truc, je sais pas, je suis arrivé, je dis, damn, genre. Tu vois, et moi je connais vraiment pas, ça veut dire que j'arrive, moi je suis ce qu'on me dit, et je regarde, je découvre la bouffe, tu vois, j'arrive, on me fait manger un poisson braisé, il fait la taille de wow, tu vois, et c'est vraiment une expérience de fou, vraiment, et on kiffe de fou. Bon, je raconte ma vie depuis tout à l'heure, mais Mais c'est parce que c'est ce qu'on vit, tu vois, et c'est malade en fait.
Mais moi, justement, j'ai une question comme ça va vous faire vous raconter vos vies. Par rapport... par rapport à votre carrière, justement, est-ce que vous avez une expérience qui vous est restée dans la tête? Genre peut-être un concert qui vous a marqué ou je sais pas, quelque chose qui, si vous devez garder un souvenir de votre carrière jusqu'à maintenant.
I'm stealing some of y'all questions, man. Y'all questions are dope.
Right?
You have to think about it. Like,
Who wants to start? Everybody, you want to go first?
I want to know Ming's story.
C'était lors de ma tournée aux USA. Voilà, je suis arrivé, vous savez, nous les francophones, quand tu arrives dans une zone anglophone, tu te dis toujours que mais je vais arriver là, est-ce que les gars s'ils m'écoutent même, est-ce qu'ils écoutent même le français? Je vais commencer. Mais le soir du spectacle, j'étais surpris que pendant que je rappais, toute la salle reprenait mes textes par cœur.
C'était où exactement, tu te souviens?
Au Fillmore, Silver Spring.
Yeah.
Oui. J'étais genre, mais c'est comme ça? Non, vraiment, ça m'a mis une claque et puis j'ai vraiment apprécié. Il y a aussi de l'autre côté, en Centrafrique, ici là, c'est un pays qui sort de guerre. Ils sont même toujours en guerre, je pense. Donc, voilà, on a organisé un grand spectacle au stade 2000, je crois que c'est comme ça qu'on appelait ça. Toute la population s'est ramenée parce qu'il n'y avait plus d'activité culturelle depuis un certain temps là-bas. Donc on est arrivé, j'ai fait mon truc. La foule était en délire et tout. On n'arrivait pas à arrêter les gars. Ils reprenaient les paroles par cœur. Ça, c'est des expériences qui, vraiment, quand tu les vis, ça te marque et ça te pousse toujours à vouloir donner le meilleur de toi à chaque fois que tu fais quelque chose. Donc, moi, c'est ces deux petits trucs-là qui m'ont...
C'est chaud. C'est pas des petits trucs.
C'est pas petit, hein.
Écoutez pour lui, c'est qu'il a des choses intéressantes.
No.
My story is weird.
We like weird stories.
My stories are always weird. Okay, this is crazy, right? About 3 years ago, that's when I drove back to life, right? Yeah, I had a video to shoot, you understand? And it was a really big challenge because I didn't have the funds for the video. You understand? So a few people reached out to me, but they imagined that I had some millions on me. You understand? So I mean, they reached out to me just like that, and we're like, okay, yeah, let's go work on it and everything. And then I went to the location, and nobody showed up. You understand? And then I was there for 2 weeks. Alone. Yeah, I was in Kribi for 2 weeks, making phone calls. What's up with you? And everybody had just literally disappeared. And like that's when they, maybe they understood the situation, you understand? Understandably. So this was me. I sat there. I had to make that video. I sent my sister to go buy a camera, like that kind of camera.
Yeah.
I was not listening to anything. I was there and I was going to do it. The day she went to buy the camera was not available. She told me this camera cannot do anything, I swear. It's just looking like some funny thing. Even if you want to do what you want to do, it will not work. I just didn't know what to do. I prayed. Literally, that's what I did. I prayed. And 2 days after, a whole crew, like, if I had to pay for them, it would not have costed me less than 2.5 million. They moved to Kribi. There was a beach house, big beach house waiting for me. You understand? By the beach, private beach house with like 4 bathrooms. It was crazy. And then we're sitting. This is what made me understand that this is God, because after the guys came there, right, we needed locals to come around and be in the video, like real locals, not people we've dressed up. You see. And then he was just sitting. We'd gotten together, the rest of the crew. So those were left. He was just seated by the beach, and then he was just thinking. And I was just thinking in the back. I was leaning on a palm tree. And then some guy just came from the distance, walked up to him, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" He said, "I'm good. What are you doing here?" He said, "I'm here with the artist Gasha. We're trying to make a video." He said he was sent to him. You understand? So he said, il a dit qu'on lui a envoyé de venir lui dire que ce qu'il cherche les garçons là. We asked them, who sent you? You understand? And he was just like, you know. And then he went, and if you see the video, the guys with the plantain dresses, it was the craziest experience of my life. That guy, when he called his friends, he brought them. We even tried to tip them. They said no, they don't. That is a spiritual thing according to their tradition. They're not supposed to exchange. Yeah. And then we made the video. At 11:30 to 12, it started raining heavily. We made a big bonfire on the beach where the thing was starting. That fire didn't go out. It rained for a good 45 minutes, heavily. The fire was not put out. You understand? Yeah. So I mean, besides the little things that happened, besides the fact that I saw a snake passing, some kind of things. Yeah, that was crazy. You understand? And it's been so many of such miracles in my all through my career, because that's how I always got things. I always had things on. I would just pray, and then you see a whole miracle happening. So I mean, that's my weird story.
So nice.
Wow, it's magical.
That's more like
It's like a movie.
I know, right? I know.
testimony.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
testimony. How do I beat that?
No, it's not
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
No.
Well, for me, it's just really the little things. It's just I cannot name. You know, as an artist, you don't always have the resources to do stuff, and then somebody just comes from nowhere and is like, you know what? I believe in you. You're like, are you okay?
Even my family.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I believe in you. I'm going to do this for you. And okay, I met somebody 2018. I was already planning to leave the country and say, you know what, fuck it.
Bye.
I'm sorry. And say, okay, I'm stopping this. I had somebody I needed something from Nigeria, and so somebody was traveling in. He was bringing this gift, and it's somebody I know from way back. He was like, how are you? Oh, you're the artist I saw perform the other time, so what's going on? I'm like, and he's like, okay, so what have you been up to? I'm like, okay, this is this and this is that. It's like, okay, I can do that. I can invest. I can fix something. And he was like, you know what? We don't need to make money as long as I believe in you and you're going to. I believe you're going to make it.
Where you going? Yeah.
Boom. He's like, I know a friend who works in so studio. You should do a song with him, Edwin Nyambi. I get into the studio with Edwin Nyambi, and he tells Steven's Music, like, hey, I have Eube in the studio. They're like, we wanted to sign her forever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We wanted to sign you 5 years ago. I was like, okay, I'm scared of signing contracts, but hey, and they were pretty serious, and that's how I got my deal.
And she said she cannot compete.
That's a whole testimony.
This is testimony too.
That's what God does.
After that, somebody called me from Sweden, like, oh, you wanted to study languages? There's a portal. I was like, if I hadn't had this, I'll be gone.
Gone, yeah.
Oh, hey.
To go and study language.
Yeah.
Life is crazy.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
What about you, bro?
What was the question again?
You have.
After all of this, man. No, because like, what was it again? Because like after all of this testimony, is I supposed to give a testimony?
Right.
No, it's like one of your
most remarkable-
experience in your career. Like maybe someone you meet, something you did.
I think it should be. I think something I was really proud about was in 2013, I brought Davido to his first ever European tour.
Ooh.
Dope.
And the cool thing about it is like I just woke up on 11th of February. I'll never forget it. That's Cameroonian Youth Day, right? I was in Belgium and I woke up on 11th of February that year, 2013, and I just wanted to see what's happening in Cameroon. And I went on Twitter and I saw like Davido had put up a tweet like 3 minutes before, he's ready to go on tour in Europe. And I just opened his European tour. You see, that was before Skeleu, so people didn't really know who he was. That was like, that was Gobe. But I've been following him up from, because I got the street, I got his street vibe from the UK, and I knew he was really gearing up to be one of the biggest in the world. And I was like, what? And I started, tweeting, getting my contacts, and that evening, I talked with his brother. The next day, I put up a contract, and a week after, I signed 4 shows for Europe. His first ever European tour. And yeah, we did Germany, France, Holland, and Belgium.
When was that?
2013.
Damn.
June 2013.
Dope.
Yeah, between June and July 2013. That was his first European tour.
Okay, you won.
No, I can't win this.
You have a Davido card. Like you have a Davido card.
Davido card is the best,
Right.
Yeah, that's how. And since then, and cool thing, another thing too is very surprising is that I've seen him a couple of times after that, and I saw him after that like 2 years after, and I've been seeing him continuously, and
he's still
never
cool.
changed.
Yeah.
It's never changed. Like
dope.
it's the same thing. Like he keep me up on Instagram. Like he never changed. I mean, I just see him because I remember we was okay when we did a show. It was in Knox. Knox is in Antwerp in Belgium, and it was the first time any African was ever on stage. So he saw on that stage. So he saw he checked Knox out, and he realized the week before Rihanna and Chris Brown were on it. And he was telling me, like, yo, Chris Brown was on this stage. Like, yo, Chris Brown was here. Like, yo,
And now we did a
Chris
featuring.
Brown. You know what I'm saying? And then so I back now, and I started looking at him. I'm like, man, I really can't see where you come. I remember very well. We sat in the back of the car. He was like, Chris Brown was here. He talked about like, Chris Brown was here last week. I'm the first African to be on this stage. Like I said, I'm telling you, you're telling me again. It's like,
Yes.
and then when I see what he did with Chris Brown and how much he grown and how big, even 3 years ago, I interviewed him here, and just that was crazy.
No, that's.
That was crazy.
On va parler de vos projets personnels.
Yep.
Donc je sais que vous avez parlé d'EP, de pas mal de choses.
Le 20 mai.
Mais est-ce qu'on peut avoir plus
Tu
d'infos?
envoies sur moi
What's
directement.
Est-ce qu'on peut avoir plus d'infos? Justement dire où on peut tout retrouver, où on peut vous retrouver.
Qu'est-ce qui
Dire
arrive?
tout sur vous en fait, là, sur les projets qui arrivent.
L'actu.
Bon, voilà, on vient de démarrer l'année. Bon, pas tout à fait. Mais bon.
Quasiment.
Bon, moi, je parle pour moi en ce qui me concerne. Donc, parce que depuis le début d'année, j'ai pas vraiment été actif. Donc, voilà, parce que j'étais en train de travailler sur l'album. Mais l'album, il sortira le 20 mai. Bon, parce qu'on est encore en train de travailler en interne avec l'équipe et tout. Les stratégies de com, tout ça. Mais ce qui est sûr, ça sort le 20 mai. Voilà, ça va sortir. Bon, maintenant, il y a des clips, il y a des tournées préparées. Il y a
des featuring surprises.
Pas tout à fait. Moi, je dirais plutôt des featuring de cœur.
Ok.
Ça, j'ai fait. Non.
Ça c'est bien ça.
J'ai fait des featuring de cœur avec des personnes avec qui je m'entends super bien. Donc, il y a Magasco et X Malea.
Ok.
Donc, voilà. Après, voilà, il y aura des tournées, il y aura des vidéogrammes qui vont sortir pour annoncer aussi.
Lourd.
Voilà, donc c'est tout proche là.
Ouais, le 20 mai là, ça arrive là, ça arrive
On
là.
va commencer à enchaîner à partir du début du mois prochain là.
Ouais.
5 mai. On commence à.
Et le Covid, ça empêche
Ok.
pas de faire des concerts, des
Si, bien évidemment. Si.
Please, Ozzy.
Ça empêche. C'est pas évident, mais bon, après, on s'adapte. On fait comme tout le monde. Donc, on croise les doigts que ça se termine vite pour qu'on puisse jouir de notre art. Donc, voilà.
Il y a un nom? Enfin, le projet, je suppose que.
Non, le nom, je le garde en gros secret.
Oh, j'ai essayé d'avoir une exclue, j'ai tenté.
Pour le moment, c'est le 20 mai.
Ok.
And plus, that's the national day.
Voilà, le jour de la fête nationale.
C'est le jour de la fête nationale du Cameroun.
Voilà.
Ok, elle représente quoi là? C'est la fête nationale?
La fête nationale, l'unification.
Ok.
Les anglophones et les francophones.
Ah ok, d'accord.
Il y
Ok.
avait 2 drapeaux, maintenant il y a un drapeau.
Ok.
Ah, c'est ça. 2 étoiles sur
Yeah.
le drapeau.
Now,
Non, mon français va finir bientôt. Il y a différents drapeaux et drapeaux. Which one a frog, which one be flag?
Drapeau is flag. Drapeau.
Drapeau is flag.
Flag, yes.
Drapeau na frog. Yeah. Okay, so the flag. Voilà, donc c'est le jour national qu'on est unis et tout. Et c'est le jour qui fait qu'on est des frères
Ok.
francophones.
Ok.
Ouais. We celebrate that.
Well, we've always been
national
brothers.
holiday.
Somebody just drew a map around us. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all brother.
Yeah, somebody just
yes.
came and said, "Oh,
Yes,
you're going to be Cameroon, and you're
exactly,
going to be."
exactly.
And you're gonna be there.
Yes,
Right.
because
You're gonna be called this country, and you're gonna
yeah,
be called
because
that country.
part of my family moved from Nigeria before everything happened. So it just literally drew us up in the map.
Oh, you guys got stuck here.
Yeah, that's why they call some of us Biafrans. because
And you know my DNA test said I'm 50% Nigerian. That's crazy.
I really want to
50%
do
Nigerian.
that test.
And what I was going to ask you because you told
And
me
I want to do a documentary on that because
Sierra Leone, Nigeria, and then they say like West Africa, but not
yeah,
besides.
not really, yeah.
But Sierra Leone is very
I
West
really
Africa,
want to do a
Nigeria.
documentary on that, on how much we're all connected, to
Right.
kind of remind all of us that we are
We're
one
one.
person.
Exactly.
Without languages, without maps, without all of that, we're just one people trying to survive.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what was the question again?
The projects, the projects.
What's coming?
What's
It
coming?
was what's coming.
Who's going
I
next?
know.
What's coming, Ewube?
What's coming? I've decided to do just projectile work. So upcoming, it's my album,
Okay.
All
and it's
right.
going to be dance hall.
Oh, wait,
Yeah, you got.
That's how we love you. That's how we
You
love
have
you.
no
For the
idea.
past 3 years we've been getting her on
You
the
have
show
no
and
idea
telling
what
her
it
like,
sounds
yo,
like.
you are the dance
Like
hall
you
queen.
guys
It doesn't
have no
matter. As long as
idea.
you're doing dance hall,
We
that's,
good.
that's how
It's gonna be lit.
It has to be lit.
It has to drop before summer.
You know?
Yeah, but
during
I'll do some singles before
Okay,
summer, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But you know the thing with Africa is that summer is raining season here.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
December, you know what I'm
but
saying?
we're going
December,
to,
okay.
But the summer vibe,
I think
the summer vibe is in
Yeah.
December here.
yeah.
Yeah, we still.
But anyway, no.
No, you're not.
So my upcoming album is gonna be called Icon because I want to remind everybody that you're on a journey to becoming an icon. Depends on what you're working on, and you should look at yourself like that. You should talk to yourself like that. And in the album, I just want to do music. A lot of Cameroonians do music. I love our music, but I feel like we're stuck in the space of trying to tell stories of how we suffered. We're not doing stories of, you know what?
Our glory and our
Yes, I'm gonna flex on this song. This is me. I'm a big girl. I'm a big boy. I just want to. So I want to make people feel like $1 billion. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we've suffered. We're suffering. We're just going to get out of it for maybe an hour 30 while you're listening to my album.
Right.
And just be a bad bitch. I'm sorry.
you need that
We need
energy.
to be
You
that
need that energy.
Too
You need
good.
that energy.
You've been too good.
yeah.
Too good for your own good.
So I want Cameroonians to just feel good. Like, yeah, let's sell a dream. We're too stuck up, stressing up. Let's sell a dream. That's what showbiz, that's what music is telling you can be a millionaire, even though for now it's really not looking like it. We should start seeing ourselves like that. That's why it's called Icon.
I'm really into that idea because I strongly believe that you become who you see
Who you
yourself
project
as.
yourself
You
as.
understand? So when songs have people unconsciously making positive affirmations to themselves, it's always a very good
yeah.
thing.
So
Dope.
I
Good
call
job.
it Icon. A lot of people are going to be like, yeah, but you're not there. But yeah,
No, you are there. You are there.
There is something called law of attraction.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
You become
Yes.
what you say you are.
Yeah, you guys look forward to Icon. It's
Can't
gonna be
wait.
mad Afrobeat
Yep.
dance hall. Oof.
I'm
I
ready.
should play some of it for you guys.
As you should. And we'll get D Squared to sponsor that album.
And what about you, Gacha?
Yeah, I've been working on so much. I mean, I don't think we have time to talk about my creative process yet, trust me. Trust me, it's a whole universe. But this is my first project ever. I've been doing this for forever. This is my first body of work.
Yeah.
You know, I started doing what Drake was doing before the world realized that's what he was doing. You understand? Because I didn't really believe in dropping a project without understanding your audience.
Yeah.
You understand? It just felt like a waste of time to me. So I have worked on this EP for the past 3 months. I recorded it in 2 weeks because I was, first of all, inspired off of the fact that, I mean, at that point in time, this country was really tense. It was really, really tense. Everybody was at their wit's end. Everybody was really pissed. You went to social media, the energy was really, really toxic, you see. And it was just there. And I just felt like everybody was just going down, but having the impression they were going up. So I was like, what can we talk about? Because I don't want us to talk about this while glorifying it. You understand? We cannot be fighting war and then glorifying it while we're fighting it. You understand? So I was like, let's talk about love. And it happened perfectly because it was the season of love. And then I was hanging with Nabil and he was like, yo, but put a song out. And then he got a call from Joan Gomba and they were complaining on the phone like, pieces of people are just away. And I was like, man, for real, people need that energy. So I just got in the studio. I recorded 2 songs at first. And then the minute I just gave people the impression that Gasha was finally dropping a project, everybody went wild. And I was like, okay, this is how bad you guys want the music.
For the moment, everybody.
You understand? So I just decided to make it like a 8 to 7 song EP, just one remix on it with Nabil, and yeah, that's it. It's coming out it's coming out in May. It's a mixture of all the.
On my birthday.
What's your birthday, baby?
It's at the end of May. I'm sorry.
I know that-
No, at the end of May is a good thing.
Oh, end of May. Drop on
Yeah.
the 20th. That's my birthday.
Oh, okay. 10 days after mix. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. You see, so I was just like, what have I discovered about myself over time? I'm a contemporary artist, Alabas. I'm not very mainstream with my music, but my personality is rather very mainstream. You understand? So I was like, okay, how do I find a balance between my contemporary audience and my mainstream audience? So that's what inspired the sounds you guys are going to hear. There's a lot of my Caribbean. I have a grandma. J'ai une grand-mère des Caraïbes. I don't know about you guys.
You talk when you give me a Lauryn Hill feeling.
Yeah?
Yeah, I know your vibe, right?
That's my favorite artist.
I love her so much.
She is.
Yeah, I love you.
You see, so I just got my reggae, Caribbean, pop, Bikusi, Cameroon, Jang, all the vibes, and then I was like, find a balance. I want people to dance. I want people to let go. I want people to feel good. So the title of the EP is Love. Just love, Gasha. Like at the end of the letter, when you write, Signé Love, your name. So that's it. It's just a message of good vibes to the world, period.
Et on va finir avec le frérot Nabil.
Well, for me, it's just a lot of things. I'm on an EP. I can't wait for that to come out. This year, I really want to do a lot of movies, and I'm going to start. I was casted for a series, so there's a lot of. I'm going to do a series, which is much more than movies. It's like a lot of acting there. We rebranded our show, Yeah. We still have to see who's really the first urban media in Africa, but we'll get to that. But we rebranded our show. We're at Audace now, and I have like 4 new shows coming up. I got music this year. Definitely this year I want to do a lot of music. I have an EP. Let me say this for the first time. I have an EP coming up. And guess who I'm doing the EP with? Dr. Ken Stevens. And the EP is already done. Dr. Ken Stevens is the #1 video director in Africa, period. And he's from here. And he used to be a rapper before. And and a beat maker. I used to be a rapper before, so it's kind of like the radio guy and the video guy.
That's great. That's dope.
Show you how it's to be done and get the hell on. Basically, so there's music, there is movies, there is more media shows coming up, basically. Yeah, so
En tout cas, pour faire un gros bruit pour vous, franchement, c'était lourd. Avant d'attaquer le freestyle, pour ceux qui veulent freestyler, est-ce qu'il y a un dernier mot que vous voulez dire?
The last word.
First of all, I'm particularly thrilled that you guys are here. I don't think that's a coincidence because I've been believing for this for a long time. I wanted to export my music to the Caribbeans for a long time. Whenever, for a really long time. You guys, I don't want to waste everybody's time. So I'm really happy that you guys came all the way to us. Yes, that's another beautiful story I'll tell somebody else one day.
Stay connected.
Yes, we have to. We definitely have to.
We have a Caribbean media too.
Yeah.
So we can share.
That's lovely. You guys are so welcome here. I hope you guys. Have you eaten achu? Have you eaten achu? What have you eaten? What Cameroonian food have you eaten?
Dole. You gotta try taro.
Taro. That's what I'm saying. That's achu.
That's the same.
On Sundays we didn't hit it. On Sundays.
Did you like it?
No, we gotta try it.
The food.
The food,
Oh, lovely.
Have you eaten the soya?
Ndolé, on a aimé. On a mangé, poisson braisé, c'était la base. BHB, on a validé. On a mangé quoi encore? Hérou, moi j'ai pas goûté.
Ouais, nous on a goûté le hérou avec.
ça, il faut goûter.
Et là, normalement, on doit faire taro là.
Taro is the king.
Cherchez à manger le coq.
Non, j'ai pas goûté.
Non, pas encore. On doit goûter aussi. Il y a trop.
Yeah, there's a lot of food.
Voilà.
Mixé d'où?
Moi, je suis de l'Est.
Ok.
Yeah, why?
No, just asking. Because you said cock though, and I was like, okay, yeah.
C'est un peu de ce côté-là.
On ne peut pas te regarder et imaginer ton village.
Voilà, c'est bien comme ça.
Citoyen du monde.
Yes. En tout cas, merci à vous, c'était lourd, franchement.
So much for having me.
On est ensemble.
Yeah.
Turn up.